do. It's not, you
I was
don't.
really interested in the kind of concept of what wellness is and all the parameters of wellness, and I know you guys focused on physical activity, which is really important, because I think we often don't focus on wellness unless we're ill, and there is something about how do you encourage people to focus on it, to optimize their health, not only when they're unwell, but also when they're well. And that will shift us from a view of approaching wellness and sick care to that whole scientific wellness. So I'm really keen that we begin to develop something.
As a journalist, for me, and as a media person, for me it's important to basically make information available to people. Informing and educating people can make such a difference. And life stories have shown that people who maybe do not understand their own body very well and the symptoms or whatever they experience might go to the GP and then be sent home with paracetamol or painkillers when they might actually be suffering of cancer, but because they don't have access to information and they're not educated because nobody helped them be educated, then they can miss getting a correct diagnosis or getting help earlier.
It's meaningful data for me, and we have nothing meaningful. If anybody wants to take responsibility for their own health, and for me, I'm nearly 60, I was brought up that the NHS is what you do when you have an accident or an emergency. It's not where you go every day of your life. So how do we manage the switch to personal responsibility?
The data really isn't held in forms that are useful down to the individual, personal and neighbourhood level.
And what I sort of found out with the data is, despite the national average being quite high, London seems to be slightly above average, slightly above the national average in every single sector. Whereas I think with Birmingham it was slightly below average, but in 2010 to 2013, due to the Olympics boom, Birmingham performed slightly above average.
The data that's available to be able to judge activity is quite poor in a sense, but if you want to do anything, if you want to understand how Birmingham compares to the rest of the country, it would be great, but if you actually want to do something about it and have a kind of the sort of management style information to make decisions, it's not really what's better.
Quite interesting for me is some of the stuff we've been talking about in terms of wellness is having a purpose and deliberately sort of trying to expand your mind a little bit, and that feels like what we're all doing today. It's been able to allow me to reflect quite a lot on actually what do I do in my life to try and make myself feel well and be well, and if I was doing that, how would I measure that, and in doing that, what judgments can I make? Now I'm trying to today measure that, and I feel like I'm sort of getting somewhere with that, and I can now feel like what I need to do to improve that. The next question is, how would you achieve that at scale? How would you do that at a population level? So I guess that's where I'm going to try and go. I don't know if I can.
Delighted with the numbers of people who turned up, with the enthusiasm of people to examine data around wellness, tell their stories, be part of teams working on various things around data, around wellness stories, around creating local resources, around examining the data that we don't know, the community data, allowing people and encouraging people to work together to share their knowledge is very the kind of openness and transparency that we want to encourage in society, not just in locally.